Myths, playground stories, things your friends tell you are true, but then you just Google it and find out that they just made it up. Fortnite has had many myths over the years, some taking more time to disprove than others, so I thought I would talk about as many of the different Fortnite myths that I can think of. But first, we must start our journey all the way to Chapter 1.
Ninja pacifiers. I want your baby sucking on me. Okay, that.
One of the original Fortnite myths was that if you stayed at Wailing Woods while the storm had taken over the POI, you would be able to see Slender Man in the storm. He wouldn't do anything, he would kind of just stand there. After conducting some research, I could see that there were only a handful of Slender Man sightings in Fortnite. However, we are definitely not going to be taking those sightings as fact, considering that they looked like this. Now, you might be saying,
Craig, wasn't this easily disproved by data miners?
And to that I say the game was so young at this point that data mining hadn't become everyone's favourite pastime yet. And besides, everyone who believed this was 7 years old. It's not like they're going to investigate the game files themselves to find out whether it's true or not. Even I did this to see if it would really work. And did it? No, of course it didn't! The Bright Bag. During Chapter 1, the Bright Bomber skin was released, and shortly after, the Bright Bag backbling was leaked. This backbling was in the game for a very long time, but it was never released or acknowledged by leakers or Epic Games. Nobody knew how to get this backbling. Some people, for some reason, came to the conclusion that the only way to get the Bright Bag backbling was by finding all 3 llamas scattered across the island in one single match, and then when you return to the lobby, you will receive the Bright Bag backbling. This was confirmed to be a myth when it didn't work, and also because the Bright Gunner skin released in the item shop with the Bright Bag not long after. This myth in particular reminds me of all the old video game myths from back in the day, like in Super Mario 64, where you have to do every single action in the game 64 times to unlock Luigi, and I'm sure whoever came up with that is super fun to be around. The meteor destroying Tilted Towers. Throughout Chapter 1, Tilted Towers was at constant fear of being disintegrated right in front of our eyes. You had missiles, cubes, floating islands, ice storms, volcanoes, all things that were theorized to finally be the thing that destroys Tilted Towers once and for all. However, there was one rumor that had a lot more merit than the others, that being the meteor rumor. The rumor was that the meteor that was looming in the sky above the island in Chapter 1 Season 3 would eventually crash land onto the island and take out Tilted Towers with it. Now, why exactly did this myth have more merit than the others? Well, because it was true. Fortnite had originally intended for the meteor to destroy Tilted Towers, but the fact that everyone figured it out so soon made them change course and instead make it land at Dusty Depot. The bastards! But lucky for us, Tilted Towers was able to live another day, and it was never ever destroyed. Well, until it was. Twice. The Loot Lake Volcano. Now, I don't know what everyone's obsession was with volcanoes in Chapter 1, but everyone was convinced that there was one coming. The main theory was that a volcano would spring up out of Loot Lake after the cube had sunk into it. Did it happen? No, stop asking me that. It's called Fortnite Myths for a reason. No, instead the cube sank into the bottom of the lake and kind of just stayed there for a while. Now, while the cube didn't do anything right away, that didn't stop
the YouTubers.
The volcanoes shown in the fake images they made were never even cool looking volcanoes either. They were always like 2 feet tall and didn't even make it as high as the Loot Lake house. And then Fortnite overshadowed them completely a few seasons later by creating a volcano POI that was the size of your mum and actually destroyed Tilted Towers. Clowns at Tilted Towers. Someone suggested I include this in the video, and I have no idea what the hell this even is. I Google searched this topic to try and get some information on the subject, and for some reason everyone seemed to agree that at some point killer clowns terrorized Tilted Towers, when like, that didn't happen! Chapter 1 Season 7 fake trailer. Now, Chapter 1 Season 7 was one of the first seasons where content creators discovered a key metric in retaining views and growth on their channel. Lying. They lie a lot. One of the first biggest fake leaks that happened was the infamous Season 7 trailer leak, which, well, how anyone believed this is a complete mystery to me. Just take a look for yourself. As you can see in the trailer here, the AIM robot arrives on the island and begins a full frontal assault on the island, so 2 of the island's best sorcerers point their wands to the sky and make it snow. This stops the robots completely, saving the day and oh, that's the end. That's the end? That's it? They just made it snow? 10 out of 10, great trailer, needs more snow. Again, how anyone actually believed this is absolutely crazy to me, considering that it looks like it was all done in replay mode. Fortnite x Pennywise. The It collab myth comes from an It reference that could be found in Pleasant Park. If you looked across the streets of Pleasant Park, you could see a balloon popping out of the drains along the curb, like in the movie It. And if you hit the balloon, it would make a laughing noise. Fortnite YouTubers, the lying pricks, they took this reference out of proportion and immediately started saying that a Pennywise collab was imminent and you should watch yourself because Pennywise was actually on the way to your exact address, and if you don't like and subscribe and use code TheBigCraigd, he's gonna eat your family. Chapter 2 Season 2 fake trailer. Chapter 2 Season 1 lasted 14 generations, and during this time there were no shortages of fake leaks that were used to try and trick the community into believing fake information about the new season. The most notable fake leak that came out during the build up to Chapter 2 Season 2 were fake screenshots from a leaked Chapter 2 Season 2 trailer. These screenshots depicted an entirely different theme to the one we actually ended up getting. The color scheme of these images leads me to believe that it was going to be a season themed around the cube again, which was a very popular theory at the time due to the POI steamy stacks existing. Now, if you look at these screenshots, you might just maybe a little bit, you might notice they seem a little off. They didn't look real at all. Like, the camera is focused on Remedy here with Ripley and Journey blurred out in the background. But the background is not blurred. So yeah, these were obviously fake and lucky no one believed them. Everyone believed them. How stupid was everyone back in 2020 where they believed that this was a real leaked image for a real Epic Games season trailer? The only reason people found out that it was fake was because of the fact that the guy that actually made this came out and told us that he faked it, and the only reason he told us was because we hadn't figured it out yet. The V-Bucks coin. During Chapter 2 Season 2, a strange coin could be found in a cabin inside of Weeping Woods. This coin was an asset from creative mode that somehow ended up in Battle Royale. But what was it doing there? How did it get there? Why was it there? Well, leave it to Fortnite YouTubers to take absolutely nothing and clickbait the hell out of it. The coin was given the name the V-Bucks coin due to the fact that one side of the coin had the V-Bucks logo on it, and also because it's easier to trick 5-year-olds into clicking a video when you call it something like insane Fortnite V-Bucks coin gone sexual. Legend had it that if you picked up the coin and kept it in your inventory throughout the entire game and got a victory royale, you would be rewarded with V-Bucks. Now, this is a great concept. I think there should be a free way for players to earn V-Bucks. Too bad this was a lie completely fabricated by Fortnite YouTubers in order to get children to click on their video and to try it for themselves in-game, only for it to not work and for them to return to the video, watch it again, try again, see that doesn't work, and leave a negative comment and dislike on the video, which actually gives them more interaction, which pushes them further in the algorithm and gives them more money. The Fortnite YouTube community is such a special place. The Galactus skin. At the end of Chapter 2 Season 4, a Galactus skin was found in the files. However, as we know, the skin was never released. Was this because the skin was meant to be used exclusively for the event, or was there a last-minute issue causing the skin to never be released? We may never know. Agent Jones in a Netflix TV show. This was incredibly strange, and I've already touched on it in another video, so I'll be brief. But the gist is, there was a Netflix show releasing around the same time as Chapter 2 Season 5, the season where Agent Jones was going across all reality, kidnapping characters from different IP and taking them to Fortnite. During a single scene in this Netflix show, you can see a blonde white man in a suit speaking to someone on the phone. And get this, his name was Jonesy. Huh? That is literally him. He is him. They are the same person. This led many people to believe that there was a collaboration between Carmen Sandiego and Fortnite. The show was called Carmen Sandiego. However, as time passed, we soon saw that there was no collaboration at all between these IPs. Was this because of an issue between Epic and Netflix, or was the Jonesy-like character's appearance in the show a total and utter coincidence? The Samus collab. This season was actually covered in leaks for collabs. One of the more popular ones was for Samus. Samus is a character from Metroid, which is owned by Nintendo, and there were apparently many leaks regarding Samus having a skin in the game. However, Nintendo apparently wanted Samus to be a Switch exclusive, and not in the way that, Kratos and Master Chief have exclusive styles for the platforms they're owned by. I mean that you can only see the skin if you're on Nintendo Switch. So yeah, Epic didn't go through with that. However, interestingly enough, a Samus-shaped silhouette can be seen in the background of Batman Fortnite 0. Issue 3 when Batman is fighting Snake Eyes. How close did this collaboration come to being true? And is there any hope for a future Nintendo x Fortnite collaboration? Why did I turn Australian? Sonic the Hedgehog x Fortnite. After Pac-Man released sometime in Chapter 3, people began making more concepts for other characters that might be able to turn into backblinks, like Pac-Man and the Ghosts. Sonic was one of them, and then somehow a lot of people were convinced this meant he was definitely coming to the game. I won't lie, some of you are really stupid, but it's okay because now I get to make a video on it. Grotto flood draining. In the final seasons of Chapter 2, there was a popular theory that the grotto would eventually dry out after being flooded by the water storm in Chapter 2 Season 3. This didn't exactly have zero evidence behind it because at random points during Chapter 2, the water level of the grotto's helicopter entrance would fluctuate, which led people to believe that it would dry out. But it didn't. Colombo inside of Covert Cavern. Colombo was one of the most iconic parts of Chapter 3, so much so that 2 years later they inspired a whole update for LEGO Fortnite, The Lost Isles.
So guys, what is the lore significance of Colombos being made out of Lego when they're babies? This is so epic.
However, after their debut in Chapter 3 Season 1, they mysteriously disappeared after Season 2 started and were never seen again. Players scoured the map searching for where Colombo may have gone to, and eventually they found a Colombo skeleton in the snow outside of Logjam Lumberyard. This led many players into believing that the Colombos were killed during the war between the Seven and the Imagined Order. And to that I have to say, of course that didn't happen. Nobody stays dead in Fortnite except for the Seven. However, another popular theory was that the Imagined Order captured all the Colombo and locked them up inside of Covert Cavern. This was supported by strange animal-like noises being heard behind a door inside of the cave. However, as we all later learned, the Colombo simply left the Fortnite island on their travels back to the Lost Isles. The Devourer inside of Covert Cavern. This myth/theory is actually almost identical to the last one. The skeleton of the Devourer was uncovered outside of Tilted Towers, and strangely, soon after, animal-like noises could be heard behind this door and Covert Cavern. That, combined with the fact that the mech was returning in the live event for the season, led many people to believe that the collision event was actually going to be more of a final showdown event version 2, where the mech would fight against the Devourer under the control of the Imagined Order. As we all know, this never actually ended up happening, despite all the signs. Was this another Chapter 3 story thread that had to be cut short? Or was this simply just a misdirection? Seriously, it feels like 75% of Chapter 3 story was cut short. I'm so confused with how a lot of things went in Chapter 3 and how they went absolutely nowhere. It's such a weird chapter that it honestly warrants its own video. Hint: the Doctor Who collab. Going back to fake collabs, the Doctor Who collab was supposed to release sometime during Chapter 3 or 4, and it was going to feature many skins, an event pass, and maybe even some gameplay changes. People were so convinced that this collab was going to happen due to this image, which was a leaked work-in-progress image of the Doctor Who event pass, complete with some rewards already available in the past track. However, obviously this event never ended up coming to fruition. In fact, the showrunner of Doctor Who himself came out to say that this collab was entirely a myth and not real at all. Even the leaker came out to say that it was a complete troll. Funnily enough, later down the line, a Doctor Who collab did end up coming to the game. And it was ass. Chapter 3, Season 5. Now, we all know that ever since Chapter 3, Fortnite chapters have lasted a year, and within those years we'd have Seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, and more recently we'd have a rewind season at the end of the chapter to get us ready for the next chapter. However, it seems like Chapter 3 wasn't always going to end after 4 seasons. It seems like the original plan for Chapter 3 was to have 8 or 10 seasons, similar to Chapter 1 and 2 before it. However, it was cut short. It's come out that a lot of the elements from Chapter 4 seasons were actually supposed to happen in Chapter 3. There's quite a bit of evidence to support this. Some of the biggest evidence, in my opinion, is the fact that the seasons for Chapter 4 were apparently released out of order, meaning that the seasons we got in Chapter 4 were supposed to be released differently to how we actually ended up getting them. I think I remember hearing that Mega was actually supposed to be the last season of Chapter 4. Let's also not forget that when the top half of the Chapter 4 island collapsed, revealing the ancient jungle beneath the island, Dr. Sloan was found in the same tank that she was in when she was defeated in Collision, which took place during Chapter 3, where she got pelted to the bottom of the island, where the jungle is. Sloan being in the jungle makes way more sense when you consider the fact that Sloan was actually under the Chapter 3 island when she was defeated, and not the Chapter 4 island, meaning that there was actually no explanation to how she ended up in Chapter 4. It was theorized that Chapter 3 Season 5 was going to focus on the return of Midas into the storyline. This was because during Chapter 3 Season 4, there were a few hints to tell us that Midas's golden touch might be able to cure the chrome. This was done through sprays and even a voice clip during the voice quest of the season referring to something called the Loop Breaker Project, which was their master plan to defeating the last reality, only for them to never mention it or even refer to it ever again. I wonder if the Loop Breaker Project had anything to do with the one character that has something to do with actually breaking the loop. Batman? No. The dragon statue at Mega City. When Mega City was first revealed, people were quick to notice the amazing dragon statue at the top of one of the skyscrapers. People were also quick to build the theory that the dragon was going to come to life during the live event. Thrusters on its back, a machine gun in its mouth. Oh yeah, this thing is going to do something. What do you mean Chapter 4 didn't have any live events? Lego season. In 2024, Fortnite OG got leaked beforehand, but nobody had any idea it was Fortnite OG. Everyone only knew it as the season that was 1 month long. There were many rumors about what this season was going to end up being like, you know, like Chapter 4 Season 5. However, the most popular opinion was that it was going to be a Lego season. This was due to the fact that there were elements of LEGO Fortnite in the game files, and since nobody knew LEGO Fortnite was a thing, they came up with this. Like, what would they even do for a LEGO season? The Underworld's secret rooms. Apparently, if you broke a certain floor in the Underworld, you'd fall into a room filled with mythical chests that would give you a god loadout. And yeah, next one please. Fortnite Retro. Fortnite Retro was a fan-made UEFN concept for Chapter 2 Remix, and a certain group of people tried convincing everyone that it was a leak for the upcoming season to get views. What was that group? Fortnite YouTubers! The Titan hand will move. The final myth of the video has to do with the Chapter 2 Remix prelude event. It was leaked beforehand that the Rift beacon would apparently awaken the Titan, causing the Titan hand to start moving. This is probably why you saw a lot of event predictions involving the Titan.
Turn that
Hey, wait,
shit
that's my
off.
video. But surprise, surprise, the hand didn't move at all. So kids, what have we learned today? That's right, to never trust a Fortnite YouTuber. Unless it's me, of course. You should listen to everything I say without question. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in a bit.